How's it going, friends? Welcome back to another video. Here with me, Arne Huschenbeth. Old but gold, Dimir Midrange. A deck that I called unplayable at the beginning of Taki Dragonstorm Standard. I went on a little bit of a rant saying, is it Cutter has essentially killed this deck off, but it is still here and it's kinda crushing it. Bernardo Santos, very accomplished player, has just won the RC qualifier on Magic Online, which was a pretty big tournament, which just qualified the player for the regional championship, which is kind of wild. I mean, back in the old days, I don't know, 3 years ago, those 400 people Magic Online qualifiers qualified for the Pro Tour directly, right? If you won that thing, which winning that is extremely difficult. You're 400 people tournament of Magic Online grinders. That's like harder to win by far than making like top 32 in the American RC. But it just qualifies you for the regional championship. Anyways, little sideway rant. Maybe they fix things in the future. We'll see. Anyhow, that's what happened. And this is the list he used, using Dimir Midrange with some spicy new cards in a meta game of 30% plus prowess and still succeeding. I mean, if that's not beautiful, then I don't know what. And I guess I cannot really hate on the deck any longer. With stuff like this happening. But we already saw in the data before that Dimir Midrange was kind of crushing everybody else, but not Izzet. So it was farming, the other 70% of the format, which is pretty good. I mean, if you would tell me, hey, you're going to play a deck that has 70%, and it has a good matchup against 70% of the format, and then you're going to have like a 40% matchup against 30% of the format, that might still be fine. 40% matchup isn't like, it's not unwinnable. It's not unwinnable, right? Like it's definitely winnable. So, and then you have a good matchup against 70% of the field. That seems pretty reasonable. It's kind of what I did in the Cult-Time Championship, the online PT, that I was successful enough to take home the trophy, where I played also of Auras in Historic, which was a completely like newish deck. Brewed up by Johnny Goodman and Tangrams and our team. Not totally new, but it was it broke on the scene back then. That deck had a bad matchup against the best deck in the format, which was Junt Sacrifice. And that was, going in, we all thought Junt Sacrifice is going to be like 25-30% of the field. I think it turned out to be like 25 or something. And yeah, it had not the greatest matchup into that. It was like a 45% matchup, but it was crushing everybody else. So yeah, I went 7-1 with Auras. I went 1-1, getting paired twice into Junt. Certainly running a little bit below average. I mean, in 8 rounds. I mean, no, it's actually exactly right. In 8 rounds, getting paired into it twice at 25% of the meta. That actually is totally normal, I suppose. Not below or above average. So yeah, then went 7-1 with that deck. Anyways, that worked out. Just a little bit of an anecdote here. What do we have in front of us? Going back to standard. We are playing around with some numbers here, which is really cool to see, or like interesting to see at least. Deep-Cavern Bat is the 4 off, just like 4 copies, all right. And then here we are just like 2 Spyglass Sirens, 2 Azure Beastbinders, making a bit of a comeback. This one is it's pretty nice against especially Corey Steelcutter, as it shuts that one off, turns it into, just loses all abilities for an entire turn cycle. And even if you kill the Beastbinder, as is it won't, like, the cutter won't gain back the abilities immediately, and you can, like, cast another spell. It will stay locked down until the Dimir's player next turn. And the free toughness, also kind of nice against the shock effects, of course. We have 1 Faerie Mastermind, 1 Floodpits Drowner. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of Faerie Mastermind these days. It has just not that much draw effect. The best card draw spell in the format doesn't even draw cards. So I don't love Faerie Mastermind. It's just good against like Domain, I guess. Or maybe it's not like there's some other random matchups where it shines, but I don't really understand the card these days. Floodpits Drowner is just, it's a pretty fine card. Can't go wrong with it. Spyglass Siren, 2 copies. I mean, Spyglass has been a mainstay. Going down 2 copies there, certainly raising my eyebrows. But we're making space for other 1-drops to fill that slot. Duress and Spell Pierce here. So 4 cut down, 4 go for the throat. Not messing around, just playing 4 of each of sort of the best 1 and 2 mana on their respective curve slot. Black removal spells. And yes, 2 Spell Pierce, 3 Duress. Really respecting the cutter matchup with that. No 2 mana option as a counter, so really going deep there. For Preacher, yeah, I mean, Preacher is just one of the better cards against Izzet, and also great against Mono Red, and just all around solid. And in this metagame, it just makes sense to run 4 copies of the Preacher. Free Curiosity, 1 Kaito, going low on Kaito. Some lists these days still play 3 Kaitos. There's a Kaito in the sideboard in addition to the one in the main deck. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Kaito isn't that good into these red decks. It's just gonna get easily killed by Cutter and by Mono Red. So I think it makes some sense to go down to 1 copy. 2 Sheoldred, 1 Vren the Relentless is sort of that anti-creature package. Vren the Relentless is a new one. War 2 is pretty annoying to like bounce, right? Like makes flood mauling this thing a lot less exciting. And the 4th toughness, of course, good against Torch the Tower. And then at the beginning of each end step, create a rat token that's as big as you have rats in play, where X number of creatures that were exiled under your opponent's control. So it's like a Kalitas, if you remember that card. That was a big play on Standard back in the days. Kalitas, Traitor of Get. But it doesn't care if the creature dying, Kalitas was referring to non-tokens. This just cares about any creature dying. So the combo you can go for is have Ren in play, and then Gix's command your entire opponent's board, and then at the end, if tokens died, whatever it is, you just get a bunch of rat tokens. They're all big, they're giant, they're like 3/3 Soul Force 5/5s, right? The more the merrier. So yeah, pretty neat. New find. Really cool. I think it was brought on the map by some Canadians that played it in the Montreal Regional Championship this weekend. So cool stuff for sure. Mana base, the good old stuff. Just 1 Restless Reef. Swapping around here in the early game a little bit. Going heavier on swamps for cut down and duress. Sideboard, we're looking at 2 vacuums for Graveyard Hate, a counterspell package of Negate, 3 steps at Disdainful Stroke, splitting it up a little bit. Yeah, 1 more Faerie for those controlling Bone Domain. 1 Anoint for Jeska, Arculus, and Mono Red. 1 Tidebinder, lots of 1-offs here. And then 1 Gix's command as well. I mean, you see a lot of these black decks running 2 copies, 1 in the main, 1 on the side, something like that. 4th copy of Duress too. And then 3 copies of Filigree Sylex and another Vren the Relentless. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a combo. As you can just play Vren the Relentless or have Sylex already in play the Vren, and then if they have like 2 tokens, you pop the Sylex, blow up the tokens, and then you get 2 rat tokens right away on turn number 4. A lot of hate for Izzet prowess, justifiably. A lot of strategy against that here in the main deck with the Duresses, the Spell Pierces, the Ren tech in the sideboard with the Silexes, the Sheoldreds. Yeah, going lower on the 2/1 2-drops, going up on the Azure Beastbinder, and being rewarded, Bernardo has been, with the trophy of this tough-to-win tournament, fixing his Dimir deck for that matchup. Pretty impressive stuff. I certainly like a lot of the things that are going on here, moving Dimir Midrange more into the direction of beating the worst matchup, sort of thinking and saying, you know, I'm already good against all the other decks, so I just want to beat up on Mono Red and on Izzet Cutter, including these Sheoldreds, including these Preachers, including Duress. And then those other matchups will get worse, of course, effectively. If you don't run 3 Kaitos in your main deck, your Omniscience matchup, your Jeska Control matchup, all these matchups are going to get worse. Like Azure Beastbinder is a terrible card against lockdown decks. But it's a trade-off you can perhaps make. And that's what certainly happened here. And you might still have those matchups be kind of good. I mean, 3 Duress and 2 Spell Pierce, they're not only useful against Cutter, they are very useful against Omniscience. So they do double duty in that regard. All right, well, I'm excited to go back to an old Goldie. Dimir Midrange. Let's go. Let's try out the new Red Overlord here. All right. Opponent took a mulligan. This hand is kind of okay. We're missing one land, and we have 2 solid plays. We have a 2-drop, 2 2-drops. I think that's okay. It's, you know, it's not great or anything. We're missing the 3rd land. We don't have a Duress turn 1 or a Spyglass Siren. But opponent mulling into 5 now, of course, makes me, yeah. I mean, any opponent mulling into 5 when you keep in an acceptable 7 makes you feel good about the game. Looks like it's prowess. Certainly don't feel great about not having one of my 11 1-drops, actually. Like, I might just pop off a Spell Pierce here on the ARP to just sort of trim my opponent's resources down, make it harder for them to get out of this mulligan on 5, as... Yeah, I mean, in a professional setting, I would have maybe held on to full control to bluff the cut down here, but I was a little too lazy for that. Okay, Spell Pierce. Yeah, I'm just going to take a look before I kill this, as just trimming down their resources here seems utmost important. And there we go. The way they would have gotten out of this is land Stalk Up, of course. Now we took the Stalk Up. They're down to a Spell Pierce, which looks not great here. They're also bottlenecked on mana a little bit. If they cast a blue card, they can't cast a Stalk Up, and we can go for the other. But it wasn't just in no way or shape or form anyhow threatened right now by this Otter. Now a little bit of a decision point. Could trim down the hand even further. This could be a Stalk Up. What is it? What is that card? You see what I'm saying? Like, can't be many cards. It's not a land. They would have played a land because of talent. It's not a shock. Could be a raid, but I don't think it is. I mean, it could be. Could be, you know what? I'm gonna play a little slower, I think. I also hold Spell Pierce up this way. Yeah, it's a cutter, okay. That was one of the options. I'm a little surprised I didn't play it for 2 mana there. Just get it on the board. Because, like, what are you waiting for? You have Spell Pierce in hand, so even if you need to draw like 2 draw steps, and then you need to draw like you need to draw like land into sleight of hand, or like a 1-mana spell to use that cutter there. I think it's better to just play cutter, and then if you draw a cantrip, you can go sleight of hand, maybe into a Torture Tower, and then really come back into this game. And you kind of have to play in that way, I think, as you have to hope for some really good draws in a row. Holding the cutter there, I think, is wrong. You have to kind of hope to run hard and draw a cantrip, sleight of hand into a red spell, and then you can really get into this game. Then you kill the creature that has to Stalk Up under it, and then you can maybe draw land on the next turn, play the Stalk Up, and be able to win this game. I could kill the Otter here and get a red token. Also play the Bat, I guess. It's pretty good. I think all roads lead to Rome here, to be honest. If I just cast a Preacher there, I don't think there's much my opponent can do to come back from this. But hey, we get to see Vren in action making a token. The Kalitas Trade-Off Get is a card I played a lot in Standard back in the days. And this is kind of similar to Kalitas. Opponent's at 8, I have 8 damage. Azure Reef. And a mulligan to 5, not a great combination. Yeah. Okay, well, we beat a mulligan to 5, that doesn't say much. Okay, sideboarding. I'm gonna take out the Kaito, I'm gonna take out the Faerie Mastermind. I might trim a Go for the Frodo too, actually. It's not the greatest card, I think. I think we can trim a Curiosity, probably. I'm gonna hold on to the Bats. I'm not sure about the Drowner. I don't love it too much. It can buy a little bit of time. It can be a little better in a Go for the Throat if you have Curiosity, but looking at this list right now, the body is really only utilized by Curiosity, so I think I'd rather just turn more into this black mid-range deck here. I definitely want all these Silexes. I want the second Wren, that's the combo. I want the Duress. Maybe the Gix's command number 2. Maybe Tidebinder. Tidebinder is nice against Cutter. Yeah. I don't really have any bad cards right now. I mean, maybe my worst card is the Go for the Throat. The third copy.
or cut down even. It depends a little bit on how the Izzet deck is sideboarding. If they're sideboarding out their Swift Spears and Drake Catchers, Go for the Throat and Cut Down both become worse. I'm not sure. Like, Go for the Throat at least doesn't care about Rage, but Rage is a card that they also tend to trim, I think. I mean, it's a bit of a guessing game. You don't really know what they're doing. I kind of want to have the Gix's command as well, but I mean, I could also just feasibly cut these Spyglass Sirens. They also don't look very good here. It's kind of weird, right? We're just turning into this black mid-range deck. The Curiosity is just a bonus. I mean, the card is good in itself, and we still have the Bats and the Beastbinder to make it work. So maybe I just do this, and then add a Gix's command, and add in another Go for the Throat. Okay, I'll play one Siren. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, on the draw, you're taking a controlling stance. Like, I'd rather cast a Duress or hold up a Spell Pierce, or cast a Cut Down on a 1-drop of theirs on turn 1, then play a Siren, right? I think this is a little too weak. I don't really have any... It's just too many lands, and the spells are decent. Duress is the best thing you can be doing on turn 1, but I think it's a little too weak. This is not much better. Not much better. Not being able to interact with their non-creature spells at all makes me feel weird about this, but I'm just gonna hold it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna go to 5. I'm sure there's 5s that are better than this, but I'm gonna just keep it. I'm just gonna cut down right now. The one upside to holding a cut down is that they could play Draycatcher and we could kill it. But then there's a lot of other downsides that could happen if you have mismatching Swift Spears. And like, keeping in a Swift Spear is really good for me, as it gives me targets for all these removals, especially holding a removal heavy hand. And that gives us more information for game 3 as well. Now we know what they're up to, and we can play it accordingly. They also kept in the rages. Okay. There's the Sylex. I can turn off prowess and just not really worry about the Swift Spear. And then I could also just play Sylex, right? It's like, this is just a 2-3 now. I guess they can still attack with it. Oh, it's a 3-3 now? Oh, I upgraded it. Okay. Alright. For in my head, it's just gonna turn off the abilities, but it actually upgraded the card a little bit. So maybe I was supposed to go for the throat. I'm getting a little low on life right now. Yeah. And also, my vision was to leave this be a 2-3 and then Gix's commanded. But that's not an option. So I should have just go for the throated it and saved myself 3 life points. That's on me. That really is on me. Okay. I assume this bat might just get torched. I'm gonna Floodmaw my Beastbinder. I think I'm happy about that. Beastbinder doesn't really do anything right now. If I don't draw... Oh, that's cute. That's another oh my god. Oh my god, yeah, okay. I definitely giga punted by not killing this. That's another great reason to kill that Swift Spear right there and then, so they can't torch the guy. Jesus, Arne. Alright, well, learning, I suppose. Or, yeah, punting and learning, hopefully. Okay, they kept in all these creatures. Well, that makes my Go for the Throats look pretty good. My Sylex, not looking too hot here, as they don't really have many tokens going on. Interesting. So if my plan is to Gix's command at some point, am I just supposed to take this? Poh, they have 2 lands missing though. I could also take this, then Gix's command them, make this a 3-3. I feel like if they draw runner land, the stock up is super scary. And these other cards don't scare me that much. Even, like, you know what I mean? Like, those, they're redundant. The cutter is answered by the Sylex in a way. Are they gonna bounce my guy? Really? Put me to 8. Alright, fair enough. I mean, definitely feel bad about how all of this went. I should have a Azure Beastbinder in play. Not that that card would do a whole lot here. Okay, I'm playing that, yeah. That's exactly what I need here. I need something that puts on more clock, more value. That's exactly what I was looking for there. Okay. I'm thinking about the Sylex. Should I make some moves there? Should I put it on 2? Maybe I should, actually. Considering the cutter is also a 2-mana card. Very interesting. I think I'll just take the stock up again. It's a bit awkward with the Sylex and the Bat and the 2-drops. The Tidebinder doesn't really seem enticing either, though. It does put more of a clock, to be fair. So I put him to 11 here. I make a 1-1. They're at 11. So if I play Tidebinder, it's a 2-turn clock. If I play Bat, it's a 3-turn clock. I put them to 7, and then I play Tidebinder on the following turn with a Vampire in play as well. Then I have 8 power and toughness. And they're at 7. And even if I blow up my own Bat, super tricky. I think I'm supposed to just go for more damage output. Even if they go land stalk up here, it's a little too slow, I think. Yeah, now I can do this as well. That seems pretty awesome. They plot the slick shot. I guess I put this on 2. I mean, yeah, right? Like, how are they gonna win this? With the land here, I can make my Preacher bigger and kill their biggest guy. They're under extreme amounts of pressures. I could also grow a different creatures, like maybe the Lifelinker. This is putting everything on this is bad against Floodmaw. It gains me a little bit less life, but I don't need the life right now. Yeah, this game should be over. The Sylex on 2 here is knocking any outs they have, right? Because like they could maybe kill me with the slick shot here and like rages and cantrips, but the Sylex on 2 secures that. They kept the 1-lander. Like both these games were super scuffed. They're moving into 5, and then they kept the 1-lander and couldn't really deploy their cards. But yeah, I mean, we beat as a prowess, the worst matchup. All right, let's play the next one. Play first. This is the hand I'm talking about. Duress, nice threats, mana, a removal. 10 out of 10. Not 10 out of 10, but you know what I mean. Close to. All right. What is going on here? Well, there's some blowout potential here if I let them have the scout. Because I can, if they target the scout, this just fizzles completely if I cut down. Yeah. The hand is pretty bad. I'm just going to take this as if they're smart, which, let's be real, I mean, it's not that tricky to just decide to not put a roll on your guide and just use it as a tormenting voice. If they do that, I think I'm just going to kill this. Like, if this is the only creature, which it looks to be, just get rid of it. If they do that, then they like can draw into more creatures, into a better draw, yada, yada, yada. I wouldn't like that. Okay, well, we really just disrupted them the good old black way. Mulligan to 6, take the one card that finds more stuff, and take the one creature, and a deck like a pump spell based deck, like whatever this is, maybe a leyline deck, is just gonna fall apart. Very nice. Beastbinder, huh? Beastbinder's probably good here. Turns off. I'm assuming I'm playing against all the Valiant creatures. Right. Yeah, I mean, you can't play a red pump spell deck without all the mice, and the Azure Beastbinder seems good against those. Again, I could turn myself into this like weird control deck, right? Gix's Command, Anoint, maybe even Tidebinder. I guess Floodpits can stay. And the Sylex might actually be good too. And then also the Wren, maybe. I'm not sure about the Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce seems a little iffy. Could keep one. I like the idea of the Sylex. Let's try it out. And maybe Tidebinder. And the 4th Duress. Oh, let's run the Wren, right? With the Sylex. Good old combo. This seems pretty reasonable to me. Don't really have anything. This maps out pretty well, I'd say. No complaints. I did actually already started a match at the beginning of the video, but I forgot about an appointment I had. Luckily, my phone reminded me, and it's just like 10 minutes away, so it wasn't a big deal. So I had to break up the first match, which was against demons, and I found out that we had a little bit too many bad cards. So the sideboard mapping didn't really work. This hand's awkward, to say the least. This is the type of hand I feel like that just loses a game of Magic. This is not much better, but I think I'm more comfortable having a Sylex on 2. I mean, I'm not like, this hand is also not great. Yeah, but I like it a little bit more, I think. Probably just this. Don't really need this, probably. I could take away the curiosity. I mean, I do have the combo here for what it's worth. If I get to that point, okay. Let's play the cut down full control game here, because I don't want to make it obvious that they can just go for it. Brand Portal, Jesus. It's brutal 2-for-1 into a cut down there. My opponent is gutsy. Very gutsy play by the opponent. Just feeling me out that I don't have anything, yeah. Ooh, what do I do? Playing the Sylex is the gutsy play on my side, but I kind of need to, because I want to put it on 1. And then I want to play Bat. Oh no, actually that doesn't matter. Well, the sooner I put it on 1... No, actually, I guess I can just play Bat and then put it on 1 on the next turn, and then play Wren and then kill the Scamp. I guess this works. Holy cow. Let me think this through. So this is kind of repetitive with the Scamp ability, right? It's just the same thing. So I don't really need to take that. Huh. Maybe I take the turn inside out? This hand is scary. I mean, this hand would have completely folded to a cut down for what it's worth here. Or go for the throat. But I didn't have that. My other hand had like an Azure Beastbinder I could have played here. Like the first hand I saw. Also wouldn't have been great. I mean, this is... Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. I'm stupid. It does combo in a way, I guess. Sure. Right. I'm stupid. I'm just stupid. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I didn't see that. There's no explanation for it. That was just bad play. So I guess I take the sword there. They needed to draw the pump spell to kill me, but I need to take the sellsword because I mean I'm in big trouble. Even if, like, the thing is, if I take the sellsword, I'm also in big trouble. Why? Because they're sitting on triple pump spell with a scamp in play and Snakeskin Veil up. Like, Snakeskin Veil and 2 pump spells. I'm not winning that game. Realistically. The hand was quite strong against the discard spell. I just needed 1 cut down and the hand would have fallen apart. I guess maybe I need the Duress here. Matchup seems pretty fast. Just all the 1-mana into action. I think I don't need the Curiosity, to be honest. Maybe the Gix's command is a joke too, though. I mean, the funny thing is that the Gix's command I'm probably going to use for the sacrifice mode and the lifelink mode more than the destroy each creature with power 2. As they can just fizzle that with having a pump spell, right? Man, this hand sucks too, kinda. Why do I get these non-good mixtures of cards? I think I can't keep this, right? Like, yes, it has stuff, but man, it's so close to being like plausibly good, but it also misses the 3rd land and it does not have a removal. Like a specific, oh my god. I'm really not being blessed right now. Okay. Okay, what do I bottom? My opponent mulligan as well, to be fair. I guess the Swamp, probably. And Floodpits, maybe. And then I play Bats on turn 2. Or maybe even Sylex on turn 2. Could also do this. I could also do this. I'm on the play. It's kind of nice to combine the rest later on. I think because I'm on the play, I like the Bat a little bit more than the more reactive card, and I already have a Sylex. I guess what I could have done is I could have bottomed the Sylex instead of the Drowner. I think that's maybe the most reasonable other way to go about this. They didn't want to play the Scamp. Again, the Vicious Mark. Card is so bad into removal. I mean, you can always choose to not do it, but my opponent was showing me that they're really gutsy, so I guess I just take the Inti here. The scariest card, I can't deal with it. Yeah. The Sylex goes around the Snakeskin Veil. I'm just gonna Duress that Vicious Mark, it's the strongest card. Then play Sylex. Yeah. So the Questing Druid variant, I guess. Card advantage, buffs a guy, triggers Valiant. I'm starting to become unsure what's going on here. Like, maybe they're not playing the Valiant creatures? Seems kind of crazy, though. Heartfire Hero has to be way better than the Merfolk, right? The Xenote Scout. But yeah, we haven't seen any like Ember Challenger is just crazy good in a thingy deck, right? I mean, I have to assume they're playing Leyline of, you know, the red Leyline. I don't know what it's called. Something with R, I think. I have to assume they run that, and then like you just run the mice package, right? You always do. I mean, all 3 of the mice are great with pump spells. The Manifold Mouse doesn't have Valiant, but it is double striking, which is good with buffed creatures. So I'm very confused why they have Xenote Scout. I mean, maybe they run Xenote Scout in addition to those mouse creatures, but I don't think you need to. I think you can run 4 Scamp, the 12 mouse creatures, then you have 16 creatures. You could run 20 creatures, I guess, but 16 is sort of the minimum, I would say. Maybe they run 20, maybe they run a couple others. Okay. I mean, that could just be a value play. Sort of killing my bat here, making a 2/2. It's trading. I mean, it's kind of trading like 1 for 1, right? Because they get the token. Not the token, the manifest, the dread. Yeah, seems reasonable to do that. Luckily, I have this Tidebinder for Inti. So this is a mana cost of 0. So it dies to this right now. The annoying part is that this is actually 2 different triggers. So I can either counter the discard trigger, like the trigger that whenever a card is discarded, they get a card, or I could counter the trample 1+1 trigger. Probably just want to counter the card trigger to deny them the extra card. I'm going to leave the Sylex maybe on 1, on 0. The tricky part with this is also, if this is actually a 1-drop, and I pop this and they have mana up, they can flip it into a 1-drop. This doesn't do anything. But I'm going to shut this off, right, with this. Tricky. Tricky situation. Oh, okay. I could just blow up the entire board here. Kill this. Kill this. How about I blow up the 2/2, pass the turn, and then I counter the... No, that doesn't work that well, actually, because then they make this a 3/3, and I can't block because they have Snakeskin Veil. I'm just gonna kill everything, whatever. Clean house. Now we're both low on resources, but I'm the deck... Oh, look, they actually had a creature there, so it's kind of scary. But I'm the deck that has more powerful cards, so this situation kind of favors me. But yeah, as soon as they draw any relevant creature, I'm in trouble. Well, maybe it looks like they just don't run any of those creatures that I thought they would run. I'm just gonna chill. Can activate my Sanctuary end of turn. Could hit them for more damage, but I think I should not play. I should only do that when I have 0 cards in hand, essentially, what I'm thinking here. I mean, what are these 3 cards here besides the Snakeskin Veil? It just has to be pump spells, right? Which is kind of scary, to be fair. It's like, even if I play Tidebinder... Oh, it's Scourging Shot. Okay. Even if I play Tidebinder, in response to Tidebinder, they can go nuts on this, right? Like, if they start casting a Rage on this, then I go Tidebinder, and then they cast 2 more, like, Giant Growths. This is still gonna be gigantic. It's not gonna have flying, I guess. That's the upside. I probably can't attack with this, because they could have Giant Growth. Let's just mill them for more information about their deck. Heritage Reclamation, interesting. Against them, you just need like 1 Preacher, kind of. But I guess they had a removal for my Preacher. So they had a shot. They actually could have played a little bit. The most annoying card here would be the 3+0 trick that makes another creature. I wouldn't like that. And I also would like to draw a spell at some point. Okay, that's fine. Now we're at parity again. And they have 4 more spells drawn than I have. I have 8 lands drawn. They have only 4 lands. So they're of course up on cards on me. Yeah. Well, that at least allows me to attack here. They're thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, I just drew 1 new card, right? But also I didn't attack with the Tidebinder before, so knowing that they had Snakeskin Veil. I mean, I guess before I only knew... let's just give up. Before I only knew they had Snakeskin Veil, so Snakeskin Veil actually just trades. So they could have been thinking, oh, I don't know. He didn't see it or something, but I didn't attack with the Tidebinder for 3 turns. That had a reason. The reason was I played around removal, bounce, whatever, and now I attacked with it. They didn't know what was going on in my head, to be fair, so, you know, maybe they're in a position where they're already at 10. I don't know, I mean, at 10, you still have 4 turns until this thing kills you. I can see this play. I can also see not blocking. I'd certainly... Yeah, I mean, they made a judgment call and they got punished. All right, nice. Let's play another one. Yeah, sure. This is like a bread and butter Dimir midrange hand, as we all know it. You know, with Esper Pixie, it was sort of a nemesis of this archetype. And Esper Pixie has really fallen off. Oh, I'm taking that stock up. It's pretty annoying that Faerie Mastermind is not good against stock up. It's the supposedly good card against other blue decks. And then it's just not good against the best blue card in the format. The best blue card with card draw spell. They have double tap land. Cut down was my worst draw. It doesn't really matter, I think. Maybe just play tap land regardless. And honestly, if they have a untapped land, no more lies here. Yeah, I mean, this way I give them less information on the surveil. I guess that's a reason to hold. Maybe I screwed up, actually. Maybe I'm meant to not play this because they've split up. And I'm giving them a good turn free there. Yeah. So if I take Beza, they can just kill my bat. So I guess I'll take this. Bat is just so embarrassing against Beza. Just a discard spell that commits to the board and gives them fish. Free fish. And these cutdowns clog up my hand. Ooh, nice draw. Nice draw. They put it on top, to be fair. So they had some card selection. Yeah, these cutdowns clog up my hand to even make the Beza ability of them drawing a card pretty good. I mean, this is certainly one of those matchups that's going to suffer significantly from... If I attack all, the split up's going to totally wreck me here. This is going to come into play tapped. I guess I just do this, huh? 2 damage is fine. And this is, I think, the most... I was thinking about which one's more valuable. I think this is more valuable as it's holding this. So if they're split up, they still get 2-4 on me, which is pretty rough. Okay. Well, I wish if I draw a land here, an untapped land, I think we're in business. Sunfall is not a card that sees plays anymore. And even if they cast Day of Judgment, I at least have drawn 3 extra cards and I have a Curiosity sitting there. All right. And I draw an extra card with the Preacher too, so I'm up 4 cards here. So that's winnable, I guess. But yeah, as I was going to say, this is a matchup that's certainly going to significantly suffer from, you know, putting the Kaito in the sideboard, playing Sheoldreds, playing all these 1-mana removals, playing Azure Beastbinder, like that card's horrible compared to like a flash threat, even like Floodpits Drowner. I mean, Floodpits Drowner has 2 power. You know, that card does something against even a control opponent. It doesn't like tap a thing, but it at least attacks. It has flash, can be flashed in after a sweeper. And Azure Beastbinder is just absolutely embarrassing there. Not absolutely embarrassing. I guess Azure Beastbinder would turn this into like a 2/2 right now, and then I could cut down it. I guess that's not that bad actually, but you know what I'm saying, right? Ooh, interesting, Gix's command. But it does kill too many of my guys. I could kill their guy, I guess. That's pretty reasonable, huh? I mean, my other lines are not very appealing. I just kill the Beza and turn one of these into a bigger creature. I'm like surprised they didn't cast Split Up there. Do they not have it? I think I'm actually gonna buff this guy. I'm thinking about not attacking with the Curiosity. I'm like surprised they didn't cast a sweeper. If I don't attack with this and they have Split Up, I keep this, which is kind of nice, and then I can cut down both fish, or like one fish, they probably jump here. And then I can get in with the Curiosity and the Sanctuary for 7. Them having fish makes the Curiosity attack kind of irrelevant to me. Right? Because they can jump it anyways. And I have cut down next turn anyways. So the fish, you see what I'm saying? Like the fish is gonna go anyways. Oh, Curiosity is a good magic card, turns out. Like this. They have an Anchorage too, by the way. Not attacking is a little worse against another Beza, I guess. Which, if they don't have a sweeper, I have to kind of put them on a Beza at least, right? Like, what is their hand otherwise? I feel like you rather play sweeper than Beza there because I draw 2 more cards. You want to prevent that, right? That was a perfect Day of Judgment split up moment. So it really doesn't make sense for them to have that. Or they punted and didn't play it and thought that Beza was better, which it isn't. Yeah, I guess they just don't have it. Now they're gonna kill these 2, and then we can cut down this and get a hit in. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. Exactly how I drew it up. I can also play Vren and get like a rat to really rebuild the board here. Seems kind of good. Question then is, do I Spyglass Siren? The Authority makes these Sirens look kind of weak, but I do have Curiosity in play. The Siren has value there. I also have these map tokens. So I could pop a map to deal an extra damage here. What am I looking for with the maps? I'm looking for Duress, I guess, and Sheoldred and Kaito and another Curiosity. Deep-Cavern Bat is a decent find. I probably should just play the Siren. I think it's like, my opponent doesn't have a sweeper, right? We kind of know that. Could have attacked first. That was actually a punt. So if this card would have been a Duress, I could have cast Duress there, which would have been something. Better than casting Spyglass Siren. So yeah, I misplayed. Mis-sequenced. Wow, they could have cast that. Bounce my Curiosity, bounce the rat token. Yeah, it's not like the greatest thing in the world against me, but it is a way to stabilize a little bit at least. I just go for the throated in the normal case, right? So that's why they don't want to play the 6/7, but you know, I don't know. It might be better than trying to find in the top 3 a sweeper, you know, especially if you already cast one. And you're like, what? You have 2 more left in your deck? So this is 4, 7, 8, 10. And with this is a rat, but like this gets pumped by the Sanctuary. So I do have lethal, which I probably should just go for. They could have Get Lost, of course. I also get to draw a ton of cards again. 4, 5. Yeah, I also have a Floodpits end of turn. I could also crack a bunch of maps on the Wren. That maybe is better. Crack a bunch of maps here, and then hold up the Floodpits and the Sanctuary activation for end of turn. Because now they're gonna kill this, and then they take like a chunk. Okay. I mean, I guess they're just preventing damage. But no, wait a minute. If you kill this, that's also 4 damage. Because this pumps that. And it also takes a mana away. And it doesn't leave me with the Curiosity as an enchantment, which is a nightmare to play against for them. Oh well. Their decision, not mine. Deep-Cavern Bat. They're 2 life. I don't think they have a good card in their hand right now. Like, what would I even want with this bat? I think their hand is like counter spells, maybe more Get Lost, lands, Elspeth, Overlord, Authority, Lockdown, maybe. I don't think I play my bat. I think I'm just gonna activate this on... Oh, wait a minute, actually, never mind. I don't want to tap that. Vigilance is nice against the... I wanted to tap it so I can like easily cast a Floodpits EOT, but I don't want to tap it against... you know what? Split up. Okay. Let's go to end step, discard these 2, I guess. All right, we got game 1. Game 1 is certainly the more difficult one in this matchup. I mean, I'm saying we got it, but I do think we got it. Like, even if they have a sweeper, we can go Floodpits and map on it. At least the odds are pretty high. As their hand has to be very weak, right? That's why I said that we got it. If I wouldn't know anything about their hand, I wouldn't say that, but the way they played these last few turns, their hand had to be like 3 steps ahead, clunky cards, lands, not the scary cards, the rafts that they needed here. And now if they have Day of Judgment, which is really the best card they could have had, the Floodpits Drowner is going to be enough to seal the deal. And if they just have split up, they can't even beat the Sanctuary being untapped. Huh. Okay, well, with the Demolition Field, they can go Demo Field, split up, I guess. Yeah. That doesn't solve it. Okay. Cut down, thank you very much. Beastbinder, you go. Gix's command, no. Gix's command has some merit, but I don't like it can kill. Like you can cleanly kill a Beza, for example, but it does mess with your own stuff. I could take it back in. These guys are not great, but they are threats at least. Obvious inclusions, 3 steps, Disdainful Stroke, Mastermind, Negate, Tidebinder, Duress, Kaito. Alright. And here you see what I'm saying. These are the cards that I'm like willing to play, although I don't think I want 4 of that. More like 2 or 3. I think 3 is fine now that they play like Meringue River Regent. Also killing Anchorage is actually important to have your small flyers get through in the air in the late game. So I think 3 go for the throat. But yeah, I'm at 56 cards now. And now I have to play some not so good cards. So you have to make sacrifices to be able to... Bernardo had to choose in a way, right? He won the tournament, so he chose correctly. I mean, and again, like I have this worse configuration now against blue-white, but I might still win the matchup because, you know, this might still be a good enough matchup regardless. The Vren at least has ward, so it's like only bad against sweepers. This is a small. I mean, this card. It seems very embarrassing here. It can shut off a planeswalker. shut off an Elspeth. Yeah, I'm like short on cards here, really. I wish I had a little bit more to work with. Ghost Vacuum doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I wish I had like another Kaito at least. I don't know. I'll just play 4 Go for the Throat. If they have a creature heavy draw, we can blow some of their creatures up. I like that more than playing another 4-drop creature that seems bad into the matchup. This is reasonable. Pretty good start. Like the best start we could have, really. And then we have some threats. Okay. Well, there's a lot of creatures. But this is not really a creature, it's more a spell. Okay. All of them are scary in their own right. I guess I'll take this as it's the only instant. And if I draw a blue source, I can handle these two. I need to draw a blue source kinda though, otherwise I'm falling behind here. If they get to play this next turn, I'm in trouble. My hand really cannot deal with that card right now. Yeah. That is really annoying too. Because now, even if I had drawn a blue, they can just pass the turn and screw me. This is a tough game to play. I think I just have to play Preacher here. Deep-Cavern Bat on Overload is also an option. But maybe, like, I'm getting a token and a draw, and if they trade their 2 tokens, at least I have gotten rid of those. Yeah, just pretty nightmare scenario here. Let's play the Sheoldred, I guess. We're just turning into this mid-range slugfest now. Go for the Throat actually becomes a pretty good card, so I'm happy to have all 4 in my deck. Yeah. I mean, the Meringue isn't great against this Sheoldred at least. Takes 6. Pretty good. Just 3 different modes there. Okay. Oof. I think I have to take the stock up, actually. It's like the other things I can at least interact with. What's happening? They have a Sheoldred upkeep stop for some reason. I guess it's the automatic Sheoldred upkeep stop. I guess that's some nice coding that they just put an upkeep stop against Sheoldred. Coded that in there. Yeah, I mean I have to Tidebinder that. It's annoying as the game seems to be progressing very slowly. So the 6/6 will actually be relevant here. But I can't not, like, I need to keep this Disdainful Stroke around, I think. For the big guy over there. These are stabilizing nicely against this Sheoldred. But the Sheoldred is at least chugging away on their life total. I shouldn't have. I guess it doesn't really matter. It matters a little bit. I should have played my land, not played my land yet. Just the bat, I guess. If I pump this, they can triple block still. Yeah. That's kind of weird. Three turns, this is the thing. They take 4 damage every turn, essentially. I'm gonna keep it, but I'm not sure about that. I guess I'm kind of looking for Go for the Throat, as it kills the Overlord. Enduring Curiosity. Like, there's a lot of draws in my deck, Enduring Curiosity, Kaito, that are a lot more powerful than this. But it's also not one of the weakest cards. So that's tricky. It's like, do you take the slightly above, or not slightly, maybe do you take the 7 out of 10 here? Situation is kind of like at parity, but obviously the very long, like the longer stage, like the longer this game goes, the more my opponent is favored. Yeah. So now I can take the 3 steps ahead. I mean, this is the play pattern that I wanted. That makes the Deep-Cavern Bat look kind of good here, right? Because now I take the 3 steps. They have an anchorage, unfortunately, actually. So our clock shortens significantly. This is an interesting game. They certainly have some crazy top decks, like Stock Up, a Sweeper. Sweeper would just insta-win. I have some goodies too. Curiosity. Did you have to draw that on the first top deck right away? All right, now I mean, maybe it's 5 lands, who knows? They're thinking for quite a while. I don't think it's 5 lands. It's probably good cards. Okay, well, we can win the next one. This was a winnable game, but yeah, they hit the Stock Up right away. That's pretty rough. I did all I could do with the power of my cards. And that's just how you accept the game sometimes. They could have drawn land there. It did draw Stock Up right away. It happens. It happens to all of us. It happens to you, it happens to them. And over a lot of games, it will balance out. So you can complain about variance, you can complain about being unlucky, but in the end, you always have to know you're the one who also receives the lucky moments at times. So if I activate my Sanctuary and activate Sanctuary, they block, block, block. They take 3, 4, 8 damage. They take 2 from this. They theoretically die if I attack all. I mean, I'm starting to become in a desperate position, so I think I'm just gonna do that. I could also draw Go for the Throat off the top. And that certainly okay. I mean that gives me some maps though. I could not draw something like a Stock Up, unfortunately. 1 card in hand, you say? Okay. Guess I'm not out of this yet. I think that's actually okay. Yeah. I mean, God knows what that last card is. They saw 10 cards from the top of their deck, so it's probably a banger. Now I look kind of stupid for activating this. So we wouldn't have done that. If they sweep the board here, I can then end of turn activate here, and then untap, activate, go for the Throat Overlord, and then maybe win. Huh. They have demo field though, so if they sweep, they have a field for one of the sanctuaries, and then I just put them to 2 life. So that doesn't work, sadly. But maybe they don't have a sweeper again. They didn't have one for a long time in game 1. They don't have a sweeper. Okay, well, they have 7 blockers. What a close game in the end. If I would have drawn a little bit better here, I would have gotten them. But it seems like they're turning the corner pretty well here. Like I kill the 2/1. They block my big bat, take 3, go to 2. Stock up into something. And then they just attack me with 2 overlords. That's gonna make attacking on the ground impossible, or in the air. You're gonna have 7 blockers, 4 of them flying. So my only out is the second Sheoldred at that point, I think. Maybe I have to play towards that. And just kill off a 2/1, attack for put him to 3, put him to 2, I mean. And then draw the Sheoldred off the top. I think that's the only line I have. It's pretty desperate, but I'm not seeing any other way. Not drawing Curiosity or Kaito. Like I could kill an Overlord and just like try to play a grindy game. Right, but they still have another Overlord. I mean, they have a ton of flyers. They're gonna still have 4 flyers, you know, it's just like, I think my only, like, I don't think I'm winning that game, realistically. I think that's my out, and that's all I got. The bases were insane this game. Both of them were great. 4/5 draws a card. Then the next one, 4/5, gain 4. Like 2 life. 2 stupid life points. Guess I'm bluffing. Whatever, I'm just kind of dead here. Oh, it's funny, right? 36 life to 2 life, but I have like 5% to win this game. Maybe less. As soon as that stock up finds a get lost, I will basically not have any outs if the 3 steps ahead counters my Sheoldred. Yeah, life total doesn't really matter. The first and only Grand Prix I've won, my opponent had me on 1 life for like 40 minutes. It was a banned company mirror match. It was a crazy game. It's kind of neat here. It's kind of good in these mid-rangey games. I guess I'll play it and attack with the Siren. So I get a rat. What I was about to say. Oh yeah, I was 40 minutes. I was on 1 life. Like my opponent had a pretty fast early start. It was sort of like this grindy mid-range, but also tempo deck, banned company. And he put me on 1 on turn 5, by just curving out well. But then I stabilized with a good company. I did find the get lost, but instead of killing my bat, they kill that. And now I have map tokens to find me my Sheoldred. Okay. That draws cards, but it's a little slow. I mean, I'm at 30 to be fair. They can hit me for 12, 16, block. Maybe it's fine. Draws me 2 cards, potentially. You're fighting out the good fight. Low percentage to win this game, but maybe there's a shot. I don't have Gix's Command in my deck. Would also be a nice one here. Maybe I should play that card. Okay. So take 6, 12, 18. Play Bat, take the 3 steps. They should attack with the fish. They get 2 more blockers in the air. That doesn't make any sense to stay back with it. Like, I appreciate the effort put into thinking, but 3 blockers is enough. You don't need the 4th. "13 life. Block here, take 10, 16. Okay, I guess I'm dead. If they attack all, I'm just dead. Alright, GG. Fair enough. Gix's command, huh? Interesting. Maybe, yeah. Weird game. Overlords being powerful. Deep-Cavern Bat is such a weird one. Lackluster in a way. Alright, I'll try. Huh. I kind of like the Wren idea too, honestly. The Wren plus the Gix's command is certainly pretty sick. Maybe I'll just play 2 go for the fruits. Interesting. I mean, I guess the blue-white deck is a little bit of a mid-range deck in a way. It's definitely not like a hard control deck in a traditional sense, really. That just has a bunch of counter spells. Is this the same hand as last game? Like, pretty much, right? I'll take it. So I can take the normalize. No, I can take the get lost. Right. Then I play the bat, take the normalize. Then I play preacher. That seems good. Then I play lockdown. Yeah. They drew what, a land? I mean, there's a point in not attacking there, actually. I get a vampire if I don't attack. They're good at this game. They're really good at stabilizing against me. Like, just don't have that many counter spells. Really need something like a Kaito. That just like, or at least curiosity, you know? That really runs away with the game. A second one, yeah. Maybe. It's weird. Like, always these medium, like, I always have these interesting decision points where I can keep either a bat or a Faerie Mastermind. I did lose that game 2, right, where I kept the bat on top. Maybe I needed to dig for something stronger. I wouldn't have found it. I didn't have any Kaitos or Curiosities on top. So they don't get to draw like a card here, so there's no point in me casting this. And because I have lockdown, I can't really cast this regardless right now. Do I just play the Wren? These fairies seem pretty bad into temporary knockdown. Like I want to set up a turn. I basically want to play them after they locked me down. So maybe I think maybe keeping one was just keeping the second one was probably just wrong, honestly. They're good in a matchup. Okay, that's a pretty good card against lockdown specifically. Let's attack, I guess. Let's see if they know about the Vren interaction with the tokens. Normally you would think like you can just jump block, but this jump block is pretty costly. They double block. That is interesting. It's an Elspeth smite, I guess. Doesn't make any sense to double block. You should let it take damage. And then you should block with one and let it take damage. I think it's crazy to double block there, but okay. How's the turn, I guess? I could let that one slide, but I probably should just cast Tidebinder. No, they don't have locked up anymore. Huh. I'm not going to push for more damage here. I'm going to try to draw extra cards with these fairies. Okay, that was all they got. For an entire turn, just temporary lockdown. Bit awkward. Yeah, you got mega punished by my Tidebinder there. Okay. That's not so scary. Are they not maybe dead here? They're just super dead, right? They kind of have to bounce the non-flashy threats, but no matter what they do, they're just dead. Even not against the Go for the Throat. Even if they have Elspeth Smite, I can just do this. I mean, like, I'm not going to draw cards here. I'm just going to kill them. This is 8 damage already. And even I could have attacked with the Sanctuary and then cast the Go for the Throat, even without the land. And then I would have played around Elspeth Smite there too. Alright, blue-white. Beaten. Beza turn 4, making 1/1s and gaining 4 was not effective into the Preacher that drew me 2 cards. That sort of dictated the game there. And then like discard into Deep-Cavern Bat was a really strong start, of course. That allowed us to win the matchup without ever putting Kaito even into play. Game 1 was decisively decided by Enduring Curiosity, to be fair. But we didn't see it in game 2 or 3. It's a little bit of a flashy game, a little bit of counterspells. I mean, that's what the matchup is about. Cool. All right. I mean, you see the overlap, I suppose, in Duress being not only great against Izzet, but also good against a lot of the decks, like blue-white control or omniscience that try to beat up on Izzet, right? So there's the overlap that makes this idea work kind of well. Right. Well, Dimir Midrange, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a top contender, if not already. It showed a great win percentage against all the non-Izzet decks. Now this list is showing some promise in the Izzet matchup? Question mark. We beat it once. Those games were a little scuffed. Opponent missed land drops and mulligan to 5. So I'm not like gonna make a strong statement here saying Dimir Midrange, the deck to beat it all. But yeah, I certainly do like the format in a way, as even though it's sort of like a one deck format, there's a lot of ways to go about attacking Izzet. It creates interesting dynamics. There's a lot of counterplay to Izzet. May it be Lockdown, may it be High Noon, may it be Magebane Lizard. We saw Mono Red crushing it. Blue-white control winning the Mox Showcase on Sunday for what it's worth. And now another tournament, another huge tournament won by Dimir Midrange, and the Montreal Regional Championship won by Omniscience. So like, Izzet prowess sees 30% play rate, but the best of the best that win these tournaments figuring out plans with other decks, various other decks, how to still win. And I like that. That's really cool. It's a cool dynamic. And then on the Izzet side, Izzet constantly has to find out how to adapt to all the hate that it's being targeted for, right? Like, they have to, oh, how do we kill Magebane Lizard? How do we do this? How do we play around Lockdown best? What sideboard fates we run? And so on and so on. It creates a lot of interesting decisions. And while from the outlook, you look at the format and like, oh, this is just Izzet prowess crushing it. It has a 35% match and it has a positive win rate over so and so many weeks. But then it's like, there's actually a lot of depth to it, and it looks bad if you just look at it. But I think this format is actually kind of fun. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm looking forward to the Pro Tour, and I'm looking forward to having some new cards of Final Fantasy 2 as well. All right, that was that. A little bit of a ranty rant. And I appreciate you guys watching, as always, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.